And this is why we are suffering. The division has caused us to think that there's separation here. There's no separation. It's all one. Syncretism. Holy science. It's all whole. It's all holistic. And there's no separation. And this is why we are deprived of love. And we are all seeking love. That's all we need. Love. Love is light. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Consciousness, bliss, existence is the satisfaction of our hearts. We have those three things. None of this commerce. No properties and titles. Oh, I own a house. It's see on the paper. Oh, I'm registered. I'm married. Why would? Does it matter if you've got a piece of paper that says that you're married? Does that matter? No. It matters to the controllers because the birth registration is the first track of enslavement. The marriage, sorry. The second one is the birth certificate. But first is the marriage. This is why when you go to church, oh, you have to be married to serve Jesus because they want that paper. Because their world is a paper fiction, papacy. Papacy. Remember Baba? Top-down rule. Matriarchy is bottom-up rule. We are the law. We make money. See, the Rothschilds are smart. They know that we make money, so they made more money than everybody else, and we're all using their money. We have to stop using their money. Yeah. It's blood money. Bitcoin. This has got blood on it. This is disgusting. This is hypocrisy. We make the money. We make the law. We make all things. If we are not kings and priests, we are fools. And someone will come and interlope. Someone will come and put themselves in between you and God and tell you and teach you lies that you need something to save you. Hence, knowing ourselves, we will be king and priest. And the Bible says, and they shall be kings and priests with Christ for 1,000 years. As above, so below, the hermetic law of correspondence. These are the elements, the four rivers of the Garden of Eden. Solid, everything that is solid. Earth, the hexahedron. Solidity, carbon. That's the bottom, the hex. These five shapes, are the only shapes that fit inside a sphere that touch at the corners. No other shapes do. These are the 5 Platonic solids. Then there are 13 Archimedean solids. 5 and 13 are Fibonacci numbers. Water, icosahedron. Beautiful. Someone gave me someone in London last week gave me a beautiful quartz crystal. I want to share that with you. And
it doesn't want to show itself.
No, I'll put it in my smallest pocket so I wouldn't lose it. Isn't that beautiful? Can we see that? That's an, yeah, see, that's quartz crystal. That's an, it has 20 triangles of the tetra. See? Yeah. So icosahedron, liquid, all that is liquid. Atoms will be solid molecules, liquid atom, atomic, gas particle, light photon. Temperature, motion, cohesion, solidity. That's it. That's all the universe needs to do to perform this beautiful dance. This beautiful sexual dance of dualism, duality, good and evil, male and female. And how nice it is when they come together and dance for a little bit, you know, swirl around and mix their love. It's love. Air, octahedron, gas, motion, the universe, all is motion. Fire, the tetrahedron, remember the tetragrammaton? Yod, He, Va, He, fire, Jehovah. Nitrogen, see that corresponds to the 4 carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, makes up 97% of your body. It's always the 4 rivers. In biochemistry, the 4 rivers are your blood, your cerebrospinal system, your saliva, and urine. 4 rivers. In alchemy, in sacred geometry, it's the Platonic solids. You see? They all, in every science, they all have their place. In biochemistry, it's here. carbon. In physics, it's here, solid, liquid, gas and light. Biochemistry is this. Astrotheology, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. And the list goes on. There's always 4 rivers in the Garden of Eden. Here are the elements, according to Walter Russell, different rates of vibration, and they all correspond to the 7 colours of matter. And those are the elements that correspond. I won't mention them because there's too many. There are no elements. They don't exist. There are no particles. It's a wave universe. The secret of creation is the wave. The particle is an illusion. It's all waves. Waves. Spiral waves and lemniscates. Lemniscates. Lemniscate is this shape that they do. The figure 8. Everywhere. Everywhere there is this dance. The lemniscate. Here are the 48 constellations, the original constellations. Now, in the last 2,000 years, they've added 40, and we have 88. But originally, the skies are populated with 48 constellations, and they are all, every single one of them, in your body. Starting with Aries, the cerebrum; Taurus, the cerebellum, the low mind; Gemini, the 2 lungs, the 2 twins, air; Cancer, the chest; Leo, the heart; Virgo, the belly, the 2 kidneys, the 2 scales, etc., etc. And this is the ecliptic of the sun. Remember the ecliptic? The sun is always on the ecliptic. If I can get a wet, slight, Johan, if I can have a slightly moist one of these, that would be handy, please. Sorry, brother, I'm making you do so much work. He's doing somersaults, backflips, just a little bit, bro. Beautiful. Yes, but now I need a drive. Oh, yeah. Made him do that work for nothing. Sorry if everybody's doing something. Thanks. Yeah, that's better. Wonderful. All right. So this is the ecliptic. That's all it is. It's not a circle. The ecliptic is not a circle. Well, it's circular, but it's not a perfect circle. It's just the sine wave showing itself here in 2 dimensions. The sun is always right ascending. You understand what right ascension is? When you look at the map of the Earth, you see all these lines, yeah? 15 degrees. These are latitudinal lines, see? And then you have longitudinal lines, and the meridian is Greenwich in London. So that's the 0 point. This is right ascension. Right ascension. Ra, the sun. And this is right ascension of meridian, Ram, Aries. So in astronomy, which is one of the 7 languages, you see we have these lines here. As the sun goes this way along the ecliptic, he right ascends. So when you go to Google Sky and you put 6.5 hours right ascension, well, this is 0 degrees right ascension. Here is 2 hours right ascension. Here is 4 hours right ascension. Here is 6. 6.5 brings you into the sign of Cancer. So if you put in Google Sky 6.5 hours right ascension, you come to Cancer. But if you want to know latitude, that's called declination. sun does not declinate. Only the planets do. So you see, the sun is always 0 degrees declination. He's always right ascending, Ra, but he cannot go below or above the ecliptic like the other planets. Sometimes Mars is up there, sometimes Mars is negative declination, sometimes Venus is 6 degrees negative declination, sometimes she's 4 degrees positive declination, but very rarely are the planets 0 degrees. But the sun is always Ra, right ascending. And in astrology, this is where the ram is. In theology, this is where Abram is. Abram has a wife called Sarah. In biochemistry, we have the cerebrum here. Ceres is Sarah. Bram is Abram. Cerebrum, Sarah, Abram. In theology, just have to cross your disciplines. And so that ecliptic, they are the 12 signs of the zodiac. In the north, above the ecliptic, we have extra zodiacal signs. In the south, we have extra zodiacal signs. Each sign has 3. And so there are 36 outside of the ecliptic. 12 plus 36 is 48. The original numbers of the constellations in the sky, and every one of them corresponds with 48 organs in your body. Orion is the optic thalamus. Today we're going to learn about how we can get to the middle of the head here, in between the cerebrum and the cerebellum, to Orion. Orion is a deacon of Taurus. And this is the head, and we have to get to the middle, to Orion, the optic thalamus, the eye that sees. Hence they put the little bindi here. The Indians, you see? Or they put, the Jews put a phylactery here. Even in Japan they put this thing on here, because they want to activate this here. You see, they want to activate Orion in the optic thalamus. Next to Orion is a river called Eridanus. Where's the camera? Eridanus. That's one deacon of Orion, of Taurus. Eridanus is Jordanus, the Jordan. That's why here is where we need to be baptized, in this river. The Eridanus is nothing but the ventricular system in your brain, which is like the waterways of Amsterdam. It's the waterways of the brain. There are 4 ventricles filled with fluid. And we, as the oil of the cerebrum, there is a special oil called the wax, the bread of life, the manna from heaven. Heaven is head. Head. Heaved up. Heel is hell. Head heaven, heel hell.